Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. So in the previous video we have discussed about the concept of array. That means inside one variable how we can just store a bunch of value inside just only one variable. So here suppose one array is defined, then I will just keep suppose 10 value inside that array. So how I should retrieve all those values? So with the help of the indexing. So the first index will be 0 and the last index will be 9, because here the total number is 10, so the last index will be 9. So in this way we can perform some operation inside one array. So in the previous video we have discussed about all those. So now in today's video we are going to discuss about pointer. So now what is pointer? Pointer means which can store the address of a variable. So what is address of a variable or why this is needed? So let's discuss about that. So first, file, new empty file, and here I will save this as the name pointer. So pointer.c. First include the header file. So include stdio.h and then int main. So here I am just suppose creating one variable and the name of the variable is a and I am assigning the value 5 over there. So when I have just created one variable a and when I should compile this program, at that time in our computer memory for this variable one memory will be blocked. So when I have discussed about the array, at that time I told you that inside our computer, our memory is a huge number of block is there. That means our memory is totally divided into small block. So when I will create one variable, at that time randomly one block should be available for this a variable. That means that one particular block will be booked for this a variable. That means in that block I should not keep another value. I will just store the value of a over there inside that block. So if I just want to know that in which block, that means in which index this a variable is just stored, at that time the concept of pointer have come. That means in memory in which position this a variable is stored, to know the position of this variable we use the concept of pointer. So to initialize one pointer we have to first declare the data type. Suppose I just want to store the address of this a variable inside the pointer. So here a is the integer type variable. For that reason here I will define as integer. The pointer will also be integer, and after int we have to give one star, and then we have to give the name of the pointer. Suppose here the name of the pointer is pointer, and inside this pointer we will keep the address of a. So here the address of a is defined as ampersand a. Suppose I just want to keep the address of a, so pointer equals to address means ampersand and address of a means ampersand a. So here inside the pointer the address of a is stored. So if I print this value of pointer, so printf %d, and then if we print the value of pointer, then compile and run the program, compile it, no error, run it. Now you can see the address of this a variable, where this a variable is stored inside our computer memory, is stored over there. So suppose why this ampersand sign is useful for the address. Suppose if I, instead of taking this type value over there, I just want to take one user variable from the user. So here I will just write printf, suppose enter the number. So here this is the instruction, and then I will scan the value. So scan it, then %d, and here if you recognize that here we give first the ampersand sign, then name of the variable where I should store the value. So what is the meaning of this ampersand sign? The meaning of ampersand is the address of operator. So I will make a comment, and here I will write ampersand means address of operator. So what is the meaning of this address of operator? That means in which position in our memory this a variable is created. At this position, at this block, this %d, that means this integer value will be stored. So for that reason, to signify the address of a, we give ampersand a. So here I have stored this ampersand a, that means address of a, inside this pointer variable. So when I will run that program, the address of a will be printed. So if I just want to print ampersand a in percentile d, at that time what will be happen? If we compile and run, you can see that same value will be printed. So here enter the number, suppose 89, then you can see that same value is printed, because here ampersand a means address of a, and the pointer means it will also store the address of a. So if we print this both like percentile d, and here address of a and the pointer, if we print both, then compile and run, the value will be same. So here enter the number, one number entered, now both is same, because this ampersand a means this pointer, that means the address of this a variable inside our memory. Now if we just want to store this address of this pointer variable, at that time we also have to declare another pointer, and the structure of storing the address of a pointer, here we have to give two star sign. So here I am storing the address of a variable inside this pointer. So this pointer will store the address of a variable. So for that reason we will give one star over there. And if we just want to store the address of a pointer, at that time we have to give this two star sign. Then suppose the name is pointer1. This pointer is also a variable. This can store the address of a. This is also a variable. This also takes some memory inside our computer program. So here if we just want to store the address of this pointer inside pointer1, here also we have to give ampersand, then the address of pointer. So here inside pointer1, the address of pointer is stored. So here if we just print pointer1, at that time the address of pointer will be printed. So if compile and run, enter the num, and the address is printed over there. That means the address of this pointer variable. So if we print all those, suppose here I am just not scanning the value, I am assigning the value 5 over there inside there, and then I am just making one multi-line comment over there. And we have forgot to give the return statement, return suppose 10, and then here I will print one line, printf suppose the value of the number. Then the value of the number is here suppose percentile d, and here number is inside a variable. So instead of this variable name a, I will give the name as pointer. So here also we have to define, instead of this will be suppose number, and then here instead of this we have to give the variable name number. So here we have make a spelling mistake, number, and then I will copy this line and paste over there one more time, and here instead of this value I will just keep address. So address of the number is percentile d. Now the address is stored inside ampersand number, and then I will just copy this line again, will paste it over there one more time, and here instead of this ampersand number I will give pointer, and then again I will paste it over one more time, and instead of this address I will write value, and here instead of this number I will write star pointer. So what is happening, I am telling you. So here when I will print number, at that time the value of number will be printed. That means here 5 will be the output. And when I will print the address of number, at that time the address of number will be printed. So address of number. And when I will print pointer, at that time this address of number will be printed, because pointer equals to address of number. So it will also print the same. So I will give this sign. Okay, so this address will be printed. Now if we give this star pointer, at that time the value of number will be printed. So here it will also print 5. So inside this pointer variable, the address of this number variable is stored. And if I give this star pointer, at that time this will print the value of this number, which address is stored inside this pointer variable. The value of that address will be printed through the star pointer. That means 5 will be printed. If we compile and run the program, now you will be able to see the value is 5, the address is printed, then the same address is printed, then the value is printed. So I will give /n each line. So /n, and over there here also /n. So compile and run the program. So here first the number value is printed because here inside number variable 5 value is there in the first line. In the second line the address of number variable, that means the address of number. Then in the third line the same value is printed because pointer carry the address of number variable. And in the last line the number equals to 5 is printed because this pointer point the address of this number variable, and the star means the value of this number variable. So for that reason this 5 is printed. So if I am just commenting out all these lines and I just want to show you about this double pointer. So this is the concept of double pointer because this pointer is storing the address of one pointer. So if I print, suppose after that I will just print one line, and here I will print %d and I will print pointer 1. That means this will print the address of this pointer variable. Compile and run the program. Now in our memory this pointer is just stored inside this location. If here I give one star sign, at that time the number address will be printed because here we have to give the star sign. If we give pointer 1, at that time the address of pointer will be printed. If we give star pointer 1, at that time the value of pointer 1 will be printed. So the value of pointer 1 is the address of number. So for that reason here the address of number will be printed. So it is same as address of number. And here instead of this 1 star, if I give 2 star, compile and run, then 5 will be printed. Because here it will go one step back also, so it will print 5. So in PPT I will show you all the steps. So in pointer, suppose this is our total computer memory. Inside this memory all our variable and everything will be stored. So this memory will be divided into small block. So suppose inside our C program I have just created one variable and the name of the variable is suppose number, and this variable is created inside this 100th number of box. That means the address of this number variable is 100, and I have just keep suppose this 5 value inside our variable. And suppose think this is one pointer. This pointer is also like a variable, it also acquires some memory. So suppose the name of the pointer is pointer 1 and the address of this pointer is 200, and inside that pointer suppose I have keep the address of this number variable. So the address of this number variable is 100, and inside this pointer I will keep the address of this number variable, so it will store 100 as its value, and the address of this point 1 is 200. Suppose think this is another pointer and the name of the pointer is pointer 2 and the address of the pointer is 300, and this pointer will store the address of this first pointer. So I have assigned pointer 2 equal to address of pointer 1. That means this pointer 2 will store the address of pointer 1, that is 200. So it will store this 200 inside the memory, and the address of this pointer 2 is 300. So here you can see that in the print statement, if I print the number, at that time the value of number will be printed. Here the value of number is 5. For that reason this 5 will be printed. If we give ampersand number, that is address of this number. Now the address of its number is 100. So if we print ampersand of number, at that time 100 will be printed. And now I have pointed pointer 1 equals to address of number 1. So if we print number 1, at that time this 100 will be printed, that is the address of this number variable, so 100 will be printed. If we give address of pointer 1, the address of this pointer 1 is 200, so 200 will be printed. Now if we give star pointer 1, it will print 5 because inside point 1 the address of this number variable is stored, and if we give this star sign, it will print the value of the address it is storing. So here pointer 1 is storing the address of number, so if we give star point 1, it will print this 5, the value of this number variable. So in the same way, if we print point 2, at that time the value inside this point 2 will be printed. Now the value of point 2 is the address of point 1, that is 200 will be printed. Now address of point 2, that is 300, so 300 is printed. Now if we give star point 2, that means it will go one step back and will print the value of the previous variable, that is the value of this point 1. So it will print 100. and if we give 2 star point 2, it will go 2 step behind, so it will print this 5. So when I will print this star, it will print the value of that variable which address is stored inside this variable. That means the address 200 is stored inside point 2. If we print star point 2, inside this 200 address which value is there, that will be printed. That means this 100 value will be printed. And if we give 2 star, inside this 200 address which value is stored, that means 100, and inside this 100 address which value is stored, that is 5 will be printed. So in this way the total concept of pointer works in C. So I hope you can understand the concept of pointer. Now you may ask, what is the use of pointer? The main use of pointer, when I will call one function, at that time we need to suppose send one array through a function. So I just want to send my array to a function which I have defined. So instead of sending the full array, I can send the address of the index 0 of that array, and through that address we can just get all the value of that address. So this is the use of pointer. There are a lot more use of pointer that we can perform operation in C. So this is one of the main use of pointer. So I hope you can understand the concept of pointer. If you face any kind of problem, now you can comment out your problem. And if you are not my subscriber, please subscribe my channel to get all the notification and update related to programming tutorial. Thank you for watching this video.